I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me? Hey, how you doing? All right, so this is a little PSA. If you consider yourself a city person, you likely are, okay? You are likely a city person. And that is probably where you should stay. Country living is, in our experience, is not all that it was cracked up to be. It is not as serene and peaceful as people portrayed, or as you might assume. You know, everything is slower paced and everybody's like wide open spaces and everything is, it's wonderful, right? Okay, so here's the deal. Today, my husband taught me how to use our riding lawnmower. I had never used it before. We've had it for 3 years. We've had it since we, you know, moved into this house. It was the first thing that we bought because we have 3 acres that are fenced off and we needed a riding lawnmower. We have used this since we moved in. Now, I have mentioned previously, things break it all the time. The belt comes off all the time because of the like bumpy terrain, right? But things like anthills have broken it because we have the red clay, and when it rains, that anthill then becomes like a solid mound of dirt, and that has bent blades before. So yesterday we finally went and replaced the blades again. Okay, so remember, 3 years, okay? We've done this. We have done this for 3 years with this machine. We have mowed our yard, and you know, sometimes there's grass already there, you know, it's kind of like the dry dead stuff. This stuff, you know, that, okay? And it's never been a problem. I will say that it has always been a little bit I don't want to say like is it nerve-wracking or nerve-wracking? Nerve-wracking, I think it is. You know, where you worry about the dry grass, because with these wide fields, that is how, you know, wildfires are spread. Like somebody does a barbecue and one little ember gets in that dry grass and then the state of Oklahoma is on fire. But with a yard so big, it's always very, very time consuming. And I have my thumb taped up because I was raking some of this dead grass earlier, and I got a blister within like 15 minutes. And it's just something that you have to deal with, right? Well, so I had told the kids, hey, start raking, and we have a big pile on the edge of the property or the fence line. And I was like, just, you know, rake the grass over there and I'll start mowing. I told them to rake the grass over to the side because I knew that there was so much from the brush hogging that I knew it was gonna like get into the mower and kind of like slow it down and that kind of deal. And let me explain that. When I started mowing the yard today, I actually had to stop because the grass was so damp that it was getting stuck underneath in the deck, you know, by the blades. It would just kind of clump in there. And so, oh, that was a bug. Because it was so damp at that time. But what I've learned down here in Oklahoma is that within 30 minutes, the grass went from being damp and clogging the deck to being so dry, because the sun was out. And I think our temperature got up to like 96, 98, something like that today. I don't even know. Heat index was probably in the hundreds. Who knows? It went from me having to pull out clumps of wet grass to this. Do you see that? That's not a shadow. That's not a shadow. That is, you want to look over here? You see our fire extinguisher and all that water? Come over here. See this water? These clumps of burnt grass? Yeah. hold on. I'm trying to flip this over for you. Here we go. Yeah, that's the top of the lawnmower right there. That's the little hood. See that? Yeah. I'm driving the lawnmower and all of a sudden I'm like, something doesn't smell right. Let me shut this off and go get my husband. And as I reached down to turn the key, flames shot out from both sides. You saw that that hood. Flames shot out from both sides and the front as I went to turn it off. So I, of course, hopped off of it real fast, started screaming. Guess what? Nobody inside the house could hear me. Guess we have like kind of a soundproof house because nobody could hear me screaming, but I was screaming and running at the same time. So, yeah, I got into the house and grabbed the fire extinguisher, screamed at my children to stay inside no matter what, screamed for Zach, who was working, and then I just ran outside with the fire extinguisher. And you know, as I'm running towards this thing, as it's engulfed in flames, you can see in the front where it just melted off. As I'm running towards this thing, I'm thinking, should I be running towards this? There's a gas tank. Is this thing about to explode and kill me? I didn't know if it would, and I was just told myself over and over again, just get the fire out, just get the fire out, because this okay, was not here. It was over there where you see all that mess. Okay, the house is right there. Number one, I didn't know if it was going to explode and, like, you know, explode anything in my direction, knocking me out, impaling me. I don't know. You can look here at the corner. This is the gas tank, and it had started to melt open. So it was only a matter of time before that gasoline did catch. But as I was running toward it and thinking, you know, is it going to blow up and send me flying? The only thing after that was all this dry grass. Now, as I've said, the dry grass is always an issue. Listen, it's not even the dead stuff, okay? Our actual lawn is dead, okay? So it's not even, it's not just the stuff that's on top, okay? It's the actual grass. This is brittle, crappy. I mean, look at this. You can see this. This is not healthy grass. This is growing but stupid grass, okay? So I know people are gonna say, well, you got a lot of dead grass there, duh. Okay, but it's the grass itself that is still stuck inside the ground that is also dead and dry. And now the only thing that I could think of as I'm running towards this stupid machine is that if this does explode, all of this is gonna catch and my entire family is in that house. And that's what we have. That's all we have. And all I knew was that I needed to do everything that I could to not allow that to happen. This was difficult. As you can see, when I first came out here, I used the fire extinguisher. That was the first thing, obviously, because the lawnmower itself was on fire. After I got the lawnmower fire extinguished with that, the grass was then on fire, obviously. Now this grass, this wasn't just laying here on the ground. This grass was actually stuck up underneath the lawnmower. And so I was throwing water on it, and my husband actually got the thing in neutral and pushed it away, you know, trying to get the grass out from underneath it, which luckily that helped immensely. And we were able to get grass out from underneath there, and we were able to stomp on it and pour it out. Now listen, all of this here was not underneath there, okay? This is just part of the grass that was in the yard, but it's the grass that was in the yard that started catching fire because it's here in the yard. So, my husband taught me how to use the riding lawnmower today, and while I was on it, it burst into flames. I keep talking about how things are getting better. We're rolling with the punches. I mowed that entire side over there across the driveway. Looks awesome. And I did this large section. It doesn't look very large right now, but it is a pretty large section of from right here down to that fence on this side here. You can see that. And then we've got these rows here. But I had done right here, you can see this little pathway I did, and then I turned to go around this tree. You can see it. And then I had to stop a fire from spreading. That was extremely scary. And once the fear part was over, then I needed my inhaler because I'm asthmatic, and I was choking on smoke. I was running to the house to get the fire extinguisher, running back in again to get water, coming back. I mean, it was a lot. So I took my inhaler and calmed down, sat in front of a fan for a little while, drank a little bit of water. Our neighbor said he would mow our front yard, which is basically everything that you can see from the house forward on both sides. Okay, now that's a lot. Do you see that? That's a lot. He said he would mow that for $100 every time we wanted him to do it. And we were kind of thinking, well, we got the whole property, including the back and around the back of the house, brush hogged for $135. So, you know, maybe $100 for just the front is kind of expensive. What's more expensive? Buying a new riding lawnmower? Or paying our neighbor to cut our grass? So, what we're working on, what we're going to continue to work on, is the raking. As you can see, it's been a project. We're taking it over. There's a bunch of piles right there from this side of the yard. Hi, Bailey. From this side of the yard, it's going over to that area. These two are hilarious. There, yeah, you can see the piles of the grass. But then over on the other side of the yard, whoo, now it's like way zoomed in. On the other side of the yard, we have that barbed wire fence, and we have been putting the grass from that side on the other side of the fence, you know, to clear the yard. And we're going to continue to do that, and we will be paying our neighbor to do the cutting. He did say, he's like, you know, you guys have this the brush hogging grass that's here, and that is probably the issue, aside from the fact that the grass that's still on the ground is extremely thick, which is, you know, I've mentioned that in the previous video, that everything was really thick, and everybody kept saying this lawnmower is not cut out to handle this grass. It's not built for that. So we think it was really a combination of things. Yes, there is the dead grass on top that was brush hogged, but yes, there is also the dead grass that is still on the ground, plus the grass being too thick for this machine, plus the extreme heat of the day, and we just think that the engine overheated. You know, maybe the grass got onto the belt or something. Maybe, you know, a piece of grass got stuck in the belt. I mean, it's probably everything all combined. Because as I've said, we've lived here for 3 years. We have mowed our lawn before. You know, it's not like we've not done it. It's just, it hasn't been this long. It hasn't been this thick, and we haven't had the extra, you know, and I should have just stayed with the first thing I said to the kids was, let's rake all the grass out, and that's where I'll mow. And then I changed my mind, and now we're out of machine, and I'm kicking myself for it. My husband had said if it was him driving, it would have been the same thing. It still would have happened, and then it's not my fault. But, like, I mean, obviously, I feel at fault, and I honestly believe I am, because I should have stuck with my instinct of, you know, having that grass all cleared out first. But the fact is, with this dead grass on the ground, it would have been cut. It would have been stuck under, you know, I can't say that everything that was stuck under there was from the brush hogging. It very well could be the grass from the ground, which means that, yeah, if my husband was driving and even if all of this was cleared off, this still would have happened because it's dead grass. That just sucks. It just sucks so much. You know, we really thought that things were on the upswing, and my husband says, yes, the universe is telling us something, that we are not meant to take care of the lawn. We are meant to hire somebody. So that's what we're going to do. Our time is going to be spent doing something else. I thought it was rather relaxing. It was rather relaxing to... Hi, honey. It was rather relaxing to be driving on that thing outside the house. I had a little sun hat on. Probably looked like a doofus, but I don't even care. I don't even care. What, honey? You can have tea at 7 o'clock. Like I said, I feel horrible. I really do. I feel really bad. But all of the factors, you know, being put together, this was bound to happen anyway. So it has happened now. And after me being so frustrated and after me feeling like absolute garbage about it, the truth is, it's done. What's the point of being mad? You know, what's the point of feeling guilty? I was just gonna kick myself in the butt, and I've learned, right? That's what there are no failures, just lessons learned. Well, I learned a very expensive lesson today, and I don't like learning expensive lessons. In fact, I'm very adamant about people not learning expensive lessons, and yep, you don't have to tell me twice. Somebody else is gonna do this. We're gonna rake it and we're gonna clear everything, and then the neighbor's gonna cut the lawn. We're gonna pay him to do that, and he's got the machine that can. So, and he offered. I didn't even ask him. He offered to do that, and I thought that was awesome. And you know, we just the other day we said we can't afford it right now. We just have to pray nothing happens. I told the neighbor yesterday or this morning, I said we just have to pray nothing happens to the mower and that it doesn't break again, because we can't afford to pay you to do that. And then I set the thing on fire. So, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna rearrange the budget. We're gonna make it work, because that is what we do.
Isn't my staff huge, Mom?
You do have a huge staff. Wow. Are you going to go on like a quest?
No, I just have a staff.
You just have a staff. All right, that's cool. Well, I'm about to head in the house. You coming?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if it's 7 o'clock-ish, because then you can have your sleepy time tea, okay?